right? How is the enemy able to do these things? The trauma comes by family, dysfunctional families, a lot of us, right? So when we're looking at trauma, let's look at the things that have caused trauma in a child's life. Now, some of these things, right? It could be the death of a parent. It could be that they were given over to the system, you know, probably done grew up in group homes or whatever the case may be, right? I'm just giving some examples, or not even given over to the system. Some children get to be raised up not by their own biological parent, but other family members. It could be aunts, it could be grandparents, right? So,
Uh-huh.
right? Now now it says, and they weren't able to stay with their own biological parents, right? They were given over to the system or etc. Anybody, but they wasn't able to stay with their own biological parents, right? So now we look at the abuse in the household, right? What type of abuse is going on in the household, right? There's things like molestation, there's things like incest. These are the things that cause trauma. then a lot of then a lot of you grew up in families that were highly for example, a lot of you grew up in families that were highly narcissistic, right? Or like a narc mother or a narc father, right? A lot that's a whole topic for another story, but I'm just giving some examples. A lot of us we don't know. Those are just terms. A lot of us don't know what that means, but I'll get deeper into it if y'all just pay attention, right? So we have things like we come from narcissistic families, like a narc mother or a narc father, or some of us have both parents that was narcissistic, right? A single parent household where you were left to do most of the things or care for the other siblings, the younger siblings. These are the things that will cause a child to have a traumatic experience, even in
That's right.
caring, right? Even in caring for younger siblings. You're not in a parent role yet, right? So a child is being rushed. A child don't get to be a child. Why? Because you got to rush through that, taking on the parent's role, right? So you're you're basically a child yourself. So when you're going into situations where you are now being placed in the parent's position, but yet you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the wisdom to serve in that position, but yet you're pushed there anyway, right? That is going to create fear. It is going to create insecurities. Although you still have all these little people depending on you, right? Your younger siblings, you still don't know what you're doing, right? If you
Uh,
understand the setup, then you're going to understand how it set you up for what's down the line. You feel me? So, going back, you're in a dysfunctional household. There could have been incest. There could have been a cult involvement. That alone within itself is traumatic to a child, right? You're
bring it out.
you're seeing all these different things that are crazy to you. Now that you become wait, what you call it? You're seeing all these different things that are crazy to you that now become normal, right? To a child because you're like, well, that's what I was raised in, right? But it's all dysfunction. So all this dysfunctional stuff you're seeing as a child, you you normalized it. It became normal to you, right? We have an enemy that deals with legality. The enemy is illegal in the earth without a body. Without a body, he's illegal. He can't come to you and smack you, right? He can't do these things. He can't just take on a body. He has to have a body to work through. You see, so that's how it works from the when you're dealing with the natural realm to the spiritual realm, right? Demons, they just can't come in. They don't have no power. They need to use a body. And what's the best body for them to use? A person who's been severely traumatized, who went through a lot of dysfunction in their background, These are perfect places where these, where these demons could come and thrive in, right? So that's what's going on there with that, right? So I'm just showing y'all how this thing works. I'm showing y'all the construction of what leads up to creating these demonic soul ties, right? So now let me see where I'm at. It says so the enemy, he has to have a body to work through, right? So what happens in the childhood trauma is that trauma puts a hole in the soul. That's how it begins, right? Those holes that comes into the child of a soul's of a child's soul, right? These holes get created from that early childhood trauma. What'd you say? Right? So those early childhood traumas is what creates holes in the child's soul, right? So what does that mean? When you get damaged, that's what it means. Because remember, now your soul houses your mind, your will, your emotions, and that's what your soul houses. So when you're damaged in childhood, then what happens is that trauma puts a deficiency in your soul. We call it holes in the soul, but to bring it down to our level, right? Let's just say it's a deficiency. Let's just call it that, right? So let me cut off my the volume on my phone for it won't disturb us in the background, right? So I'm here to break it down for you, right? So we call what we call holes in the child's soul, we could call that as a deficiency, right? So now when you have deficiency in your soul, that is going to set you up for what? For something later on down the line. You see that? Because if you don't have parents that are watching, which is evident, because because if there were parents that were watching, then it wouldn't have happened in the first place. So then what's going to come in? Rejection. The spirit of rejection is going to travel, right? So Slakia, give me a second. Salakia, y'all heard me speaking or what?
Yeah, Khan.
Because I had it on mute. So what was the last thing y'all heard?
I couldn't
You
hear you
said give
for
me
a
a
while.
Damn, so all right. Did y'all hear the part where I was talking about deficiency, or did I last mention the spirit of rejection?
okay.
And I heard that.
Huh?
Lakia.
Shalaki, you said
Okay.
hold for a minute, hold for a second, and then you didn't say anything after hold for a second.
Right. So the last thing that I mentioned, did I touch on the deficiency part, or did I just go silent?
You were talking about children having holes in their souls.
All
You
right.
said
So
that's
I
a
started.
deficiency.
All right, right. So I started from there, right? Basically, what I was saying, yeah, because somebody was trying to call me, I had to silence the phone. Now they want to hit me up when I'm in the middle of something. But if I'm not doing nothing, then nobody will reach out. But that's how it is, anyways. I'm telling you, man. That's Satan trying to stop this truth from coming out. Anyway, so I was going back, right? Holes in the souls of a child, it creates a deficiency. We're just gonna call it that, right? So that's going to set you up for what? For something later on down the line. Because if you don't have parents that are watching, which is evident, right? Because if they were parents that were watching, then it wouldn't have happened in the first place. So then what's going to come in? What's going to come in is rejection. the spirit of rejection is going to travel with other demonic spirits, right? You see, they need to gather together. They got to be clannish, and they got to gang up. So that spirit of rejection is going to travel with other demonic spirits. So a lot of times what we see is rejection, and we see the fear of abandonment. The way that it manifests in the natural is it manifests in this, in anxieties and insecurities. That spirit of rejection is going to attach itself to, to whatever other demonic spirits, right? Or like a unclean spirit, like of lust, or like a demon of lust, or even a demon of like a sexual perversion, right? Or they got children growing up always trying to seek validation, and try to, sometimes children, they could grow up a little promiscuous or whatever, but a lot of times that comes from all that, family, childhood trauma, family dysfunctions and all that, right? Going out into this life because you suffered the rejection, because your mind was perverted at such a young age through either molestation or incest or being raised in dysfunctionality. That enemy is going to absolutely send these demons to attack you, because it is something most likely that has already happened in your bloodline, right? It's already there, right? It's already there. The enemy don't bring anything new. He is bringing what is going to absolutely, what he knows that is going to hit you, right? What you call it? It says because your genetic makeup, right? So there's so many people out here struggling with these soul ties, right? They don't know how to break them. They don't know how they got into the situation, how to destroy this thing. You can't destroy something you don't know what the makeup of the construction of it is. Like, you're not going to be able to deal with that because, right? Because first of all, a lot of us, we don't have that spiritual discernment, right? This thing is spiritual, right? So when you go into something that's spiritual, you still dealing in the flesh. You still operating in the natural world. But when this thing is spiritual, it's deeper. Like attacks is being sent to you from the spirit realm, and then it manifests in the natural, right? So the destruction of this thing, my fault. It says the construction of it. Now we're going to talk about the destruction, how we're going to destroy this thing, these demonic soul ties, right? How do you how do you deconstruct the thing? You got to know, if you want to know how to destroy something, you got to know the construction. If you want to deconstruct something, you got to know the construction of it. So this is what we're talking about, right? That's when we are dealing with these demons, different demons of lust, of sexual perversion. When we're talking about the spirit of rejection, the first thing that you're going to see with people that are dealing with that spirit is a lot of times y'all don't understand how these, for example, like these girls become so, how do they get so perverted like that, right? We got to understand that, like, how they wind up being so perverted like that, right? How come they just give up their bodies like that, like so easily like that, right? Or guys, the same thing, right? Do they just run around and sleep with all these different women? Because when that spirit of rejection is prevalent, when it is present in someone, the enemy has to attach a demon to that. You see what I'm saying? That's going to make you, is going to entice you to sin against what? Against your own body, right? That's basically when you see that, that's basically what's going on, is a sin against the own body. Um Hold on a second. All right. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I was saying Did I lose my train of thought? No, it's right here. So it says, so we asked the question, right? That the enemy has to attach a demon to that. That's going to make you, it's going to entice you to sin against your own body. What is that? That's nothing more than sexual perversion, fornication, adultery, bestiality, incest. He has to attach it with something to make you sin against your own temple, to open up more and more portals for him to attack you. If you know, you if you know, if you have information, and this is what the enemy doesn't want you to have, is information, right? Because the more information you have, the more you'll be able to fight against it, right? So it says, this is what the enemy doesn't want you to have, is information. So then you know how to come against these different things, right? The more you increase in knowledge. A matter of fact, let's get these two scriptures real quick. I've been going on for a minute. Let's get some scriptures to back this up, what I'm bringing out, right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5. Let's bring that out.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 5. A wise man will hear. And
A
will
wise man will what?
Will hear.
Right?
And
a wise man will hear. Salakia, a wise man will hear and do what? Cat, go ahead.
And will increase learning.
You see that? So a wise man, he's going to hear and he's going to want to increase in learning, right? So the more information you have, the more wisdom you grow in this thing, the more you be able to fight up against these demonic forces, these demonic soul ties, these demonic entities, right? It's because a lot of times we fail because we lack all these this biblical knowledge. We lacking in these scriptures, right? A lot of times we could have a whole demon in our face and wouldn't even realize it, man. And we could prove it to you, right? But I'm gonna get a few more. Let's get 2 Corinthians 11 and 14. Let's get that real quick. And when you got it, bring it out.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed. For Satan.
For
himself.
Satan, right? Right? So Salakia, for Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, the enemy, our adversary, you know, the deceiver, the liar, right? Read on.
Is transformed into an angel of light.
You see that? So if we have Satan transforming himself to an angel of light, right? And how can he do that? By sending us toxic people, toxic individuals to our life, whether it's family members, whether it's lovers. And if Satan himself could transform to an angel of light, what makes you think the people that's doing his work and working for the kingdom of darkness, what makes you think they can't do the same thing? They could do the same thing. They could do the same thing, right? So they will send us toxic people who's gonna do what? Transform to an angel of light. Let's get another one, man. Let's get Sirach 6 and 7, right? Because a lot of times we don't have these scriptures. A lot of times we lacking in this biblical knowledge, right? Sirach 6 and 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
All right, yeah, we could. Salakia, hold on a second. Let me break that a little bit down. If we get a friend, we got to prove him first. This is what the Bible tells us, right, guys? We got to do what the Bible is telling us. A lot of times we get a friend, and guess what? That friend, we just running with it. We not proving nothing, right? Read on.
If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Right? We'd be so quick to be like, that's my man's in them. You see what I'm saying? But this man's of yours that you just met, it could be a whole demon. If Satan is transforming himself to an angel of light, what makes you think these people that you hooking up with can't do the same thing too? You gotta really try it. You gotta try your friends, the people that you label, know those that you label with, man. Right? See what I'm saying? Let me see what I want. A matter of fact, read the next one.
For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
Mm.
And
Khan, you see that? For some people, is a friend only for their own. They when on occasion they own hidden agendas, man. There's more on that.
and
If
will not
that's
abide in the day of thy trouble.
see that when the sugar honey iced tea hit the fan, they up out of there, man. They gonna run for Dodge. They out of there, man. So you gotta try your friends before you call that man a friend of yours. You gotta be really trying to prove your friends. Make sure he fits that title. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back to this lesson. A matter of fact, I want you to get one more scripture for me. Let's get Proverbs 9:9, and then I'll go back to the lesson.
So
and when you get it,
what was that?
the next scripture after that one was Proverbs 9:9.
Oh.
Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser.
Read that again, Salakia. Read that again.
Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
You see, teach a wise man and he will be wiser. You teach a just man and he will be even wiser. You see that? So you gotta, if you want to be that wise man, if you want to be well versed in these scriptures, you gotta constantly, you know, stay in his words, stick to the scriptures. You know, you gotta stay in this truth, man. There's nothing left for you once you leave this thing. Ain't nothing else out there. Ain't nothing else out there going to make any type of sense, no type of biblical sense. We see this kingdom falling already, man. Ain't nothing left out there for you, right? You can't even trust your buddies in the world. They want to try to lay with your wife or whatever. Or it's too much deceitfulness going on out there, right? So we're gonna get back to this. I just wanted to share some of that with y'all, how important it is. The more information y'all have, the more better y'all be able to fight up against, this wicked society. And it be just Satan trying to send our own people to try to, take us away. Like I started it off. He's a master at distraction. That's his whole job. He wants to distract us, right? So that's what we got going on. A matter of fact, do me a favor, read that one more time, and then I'm gonna get back to the lesson.
Proverbs 9 and 9. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
Khan, that's well said. That's a whole message, a whole lesson within itself right there, right? So we're gonna get back to it. Right? Hold on, let me see where I was at real quick. All right, so let's see. We was over here and let me see. Right? So we was talking about the more information you have, right? Then you know how to come against these different things. You will know how to absolutely destroy the soul tie, never go back, right? But the enemy doesn't want that, right? That fear of abandonment, yes. Abandonment, the same thing, he has to attach something to that, right? Um, what you call it? So you fear being abandoned, right? So what are you going to do? Anything to not be abandoned, because that was one of the traumas, right? That was one and only thing that really traumatized you as a child. The enemy knows just how to do it, right? You have to understand when you are introduced to these type of situations, this right here lays the groundwork for the dysfunctionality that's that's going to come behind that. So there's going to be some dysfunction that is going to be that is going to come after that. Because why? Because look at the foundation. Now when you look at this foundation, when you look back on how your childhood, when you look back at the things that happened to you, right? Look at the foundation. No wonder you fell into the pits that you did, right? Because if you had the proper foundation, then that little inner child wouldn't have be wouldn't have been crying out for the dysfunction of familiar spirits, right? Because you know all them toxic people that we try and show y'all to break these demonic soul ties, they suffered the same thing that we done went through, right? Um, so so they just decided to go different ways, right? They didn't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. They didn't want to be into this truth, right? So that familiar spirit came in and identified with those familiar spirits that you were carrying. You see that? So certain things we went through as a child, we picked up some spirits that wasn't good for us. And as we got older, the things that we thought, like for example, if a child grows up in a lot of trauma and a dysfunctional household, some of those those unclean spirits is going to attach to us. And some of those familiar spirits that we're carrying unaware is going to identify with those toxic individuals. You see what I'm saying? Right? So you got to guard your eyes, you got to guard your ears, and you got to guard your children's too, right? That could pertain to a lot of things you like to watch, a lot of things you like to listen to, you know. um the enemy is going to hit the children real early. This is how this whole setup happens in the first place, pertaining to demonic soul tie. As early he could get you in is as early as it's going to be for him to you know to send all these legions in your temple, right? He's going to hit them real early in the childhood. He's going to put a hole in the soul. He's going to traumatize the kid, and some of them go that way, right? So he's going to traumatize the kid, and some of them go to the way towards the kingdom of darkness, right? Or like a toxic person is over there doing their thing, right? But everybody don't choose to go that way, right? There's some of us who decide to stay true to what? To who we are, and stay connected to our souls, right?
That's right.
And we are the ones he's fighting, right? The enemy. We the ones that's in the truth, that want to stay 10 toes down, the enemy is fighting us, right? He don't um he don't have to fight those other toxic individuals, because they already, you know, they doing his bidding, man, right? He already got them, right? The only thing he has to do is keep the demons perpetual there, right? That's why they stay stuck in that dysfunctionality. They don't want to get up out of that. A lot of them stay rebellious. A lot of them stay prideful, right? Whatever they're fighting is going to add one or two more, because the toxic person, they just sink deeper and deeper, right? And deeper into that thing, right? That's why they get worse as time goes by. You know why you get into these situations? The first thing you do is you're going to give a sin offering. For example, like sex. That's giving a sin offering, right? The enemy knows it. It's one of the highest forms of demonic worship. Y'all don't know that, right? So, a matter of fact, let me see if I could pull something I had before. I'm about to pull it up. Let me pull this little article I had once here. I just wanted to share something with y'all real quick. Let me see if I could find it on my give me a second, Slakia. It's right. Let me see. Hold on a second. It's right. I had it saved to my. All right, here we go. This is Let me see. I will have to share the. Let me see if I could do this. Share screen. All right. Oh, here we go. Y'all all could see this?
Gone.
All right. So now let me. Oh shit! Damn! I dropped my damn pen. Lock it. All right. So now it says Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Wait, I gotta move this. This is in my way. Signs. Oh snap! Give me a second. I'm gonna show y'all something. All right. Right. So I wanna read this real quick because I feel like it could tie into a lot of this, right? I'll just read this for y'all real quick. Right? So everybody could see this, right? What's on the screen right here?
Gone.
All right, so now check this out, right? These are some signs of a toxic person, right? What is a toxic person? If you know someone who's difficult and causes a lot of conflict in your life, you may be dealing with a toxic person, right? These people can create lots of stress and unpleasant for you and others, not to mention emotional or physical pain. Let me make sure this is the one I wanted because it was a few of them I had saved. Give me a second. It said, let me just make sure, and then I gotta double back. Right? Yeah, no, this is not the one I wanted was something else. Let me see. This is not. I think I went into this before. So this is not the one. This is the one I'm looking for. Give me a second. All right. All right. Very well mind. That's the one I'm looking for. Is this very? It says very well mind. This is it right here. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna read this. Check this out. It says, "What are delusions?" Right? These false beliefs can be a symptom of delusional disorder or another condition. Right? I'm just gonna read through it real quick. Right? So check it out. It says delusions are a fixed false belief that conflict with reality. If a person is in a delusional state, they can't let go of their untrue convictions despite contrary evidence. Delusions are often reinforced by the misinterpretation of events. Many also involve some level of paranoia. For example, someone who is delusional might contend that the government is controlling our every move via radio waves, even with no evidence to support this belief, right? So delusions are a common symptom of some psychotic disorders. They may occur along with hallucinations, which involve perceiving something that isn't really there, like hearing voices or feeling bugs crawling on your skin, right? And this is talks about delusions versus hallucinations. While they both involve distortions of reality, there are differences between delusions and hallucinations. For instance, delusional thinking means that the person's cognitive process is distorted. Their thoughts are distorted. In hallucination, the distortion exists in the senses, such as in their sense of hearing or touch. Signs of delusional thinking, right? How do you tell if you or someone you love may be experiencing delusional thoughts? Delusions are characterized by an unshakable belief in things that are not true. In many cases, there is a continued belief in the delusion despite evidence to the contrary. It's also important to recognize that not all delusions are the same. Some delusions might involve non-bizarre beliefs that could theoretically occur in real life, such as believing that your spouse is cheating on you. Wait a second. That your spouse is cheating on you. Other delusions are bizarre, fantastical, or impossible, like thinking that you are responsible for the fate of the world. The nature of the delusional symptoms may play a central role in the diagnosis. Delusional disorder, for example, is characterized by non-bizarre delusions that often involve the misinterpretation of experience or perceptions. Conversely, in schizophrenia, delusions may be bizarre and not rooted in reality, right? Types of delusions. Let me see something, right? Wow, so this goes a little bit deeper into it, but before I move on, I just wanted to make sure if this is actually what right? So we read a lot of this, right? But anyways, why am I going into this type of stuff? Because a lot of times some of the people are dealing with things like this, like toxic traits. A lot of them could be delusionals. A lot of them, I was saying toxic traits. Some of them could be suffering from delusions. And what happens is when we, for example, if you're a man of the Lord, a man of the Most High, and you're over here laying and sleeping with somebody with these traits, a toxic or female, for I'm just giving an example. It could be vice versa. You could be a woman of Yah dealing with a man with toxic traits and delusions. This could be interchangeable, right? But if you're a man of the Lord and you're sleeping with a toxic or delusional woman, right? What you call it? You were if you sleep with a toxic person, that would make you delusional. Yeah. So, you picking up a lot of stuff that they have on them. So now that creates you to be delusional because nobody in their right mind or nobody in the spirit wants to be dealing with somebody like this in the first place. So I'm gonna yield on that and I'm gonna get back to the lesson. But I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. How you stop this thing? Let me see something. Stop. Wait, how this thing works? Hold on, give me a second. Stop sharing. Here we go. All right, so now we back. All right, so let me see where we at. It says, so Salakia, where was I? It says he's gonna you give your body as a sex, or that's the part I was at. The first thing you do is you're going to give a sin offering, which is sex, right? And I was saying that the highest form of a demonic worship is through sex, fornication, adultery, all these different things create these type of stuff, right? So some require blood, right? Some require blood, some want to be worshiped in that way. They all have to be fed, right? We're talking about these unclean spirits, these legions of demons, right? That be jumping on our people, right? All these demons, they got to get fed, right? If they can't be If they can't be you, then they got to be able to affect you in a way where you're going to do something to worship them. They got to do something to be able to affect you that's going to provoke demon worship out of your temple, right? And what is that? And what is that? What are those things? So we're gonna bring out some things pertaining to that. You get traumatized as a kid, right? You're dealing with rejection. You're dealing with abandonment. You're dealing with that spirit of abandonment, right? You got insecurities going on because that's how it generally manifests in the natural. You got a lot of different things going on, right? This is one of the best ways for the enemy to hit you, right? Now we talk about the construction of the soul tie. So now when you see how you were hit as a child, you see how the different traumas that you experienced left you open for demonic attacks, right? It left your soul and left many portals open for the enemy to come in and reside and just set up camp, right? So that's what I was telling y'all, that this is a person who goes through all those type of things, dysfunctional family, whether it's molestation in the family, whether it's incest, all these different things. It just sets up shop for the enemy or these demonic uh, entities to come and set up shop in your temple, right? The enemy loves dark, deep places. They love dark spaces that they can hide in, right? They love the dark, right? So that's why when we get this knowledge, this biblical knowledge, we come out from that dark place, right? So if you want to destroy this soul tie, you got to be able to listen to this message right here. You got to be able to take this thing in and see how this is relating to your life, right? When we talk about the construction, we ask the question to the Most High. Is he saying, how are you going to destroy something when you don't even know what it's made of, right? What the Most High reveals is that we keep looking at the flesh. We keep seeing that, whatever this toxic person did to us, we keep going back to what manifests in the natural. And this is what keeps us on that loop, on that merry-go-round, right? Round and round, right? Because the soul tie, right? Because soul ties cannot be destroyed in the natural. That's the reason why. That's the secret. You're thinking that if you just go, if you just go blackout on this person, you're thinking that if you just go no contact, you're thinking that if you just don't talk to them ever again, it's going to be destroyed. That's what the enemy wants you to think. Because if he could keep you thinking that way, then he could keep those demonic spirits attached to the trauma, right? And you'll never deal with the trauma. Not in that way. Not in that way, you will never get the deliverance from these demonic things, right? That try to possess your entire existence. He wants to keep you thinking, this is what I need to do, right? Just go no contact, just go blackout. No, right? A soul tie cannot be broken in the natural. There's nothing about a soul tie that is natural, right? It's all supernatural, right? When you have a supernatural situation, you need a supernatural God that can destroy that situation, man.
Hey, bring it
right?
out.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So you need
God.
you're gonna need a supernatural plan that can handle this for you. You cannot fight a spiritual thing using natural methods, right? The enemy wants you to keep on thinking that is all I need to do is wait on time, right? It's just to wait on time, right? It's just need to not talk to this person, right? I just need to not do this thing and do that, right? That's far from the truth, y'all, right? We're talking about the construction. Now that we're talking about the construction of we're talking about the construction of the soul tie, we talked about the setup. Now we're going into the construction, right? I'm gonna pause right there and I'm gonna bring out a scripture. Let me see what I want to get. Because I was just breaking down how we wind up in these situations, and I'm trying to bring forth showing y'all how to break demonic soul ties, whether it's with a lover, whether it's with, family members or friends. A lot of times we build these bonds that we feel that we need to have these things, right? Um, if y'all don't know, but a lot of toxic people, they create codependencies. Like they expect for you to be extremely dependent on them, but that that's not a good thing for y'all, right? So let me see what I want to bring out. I want to get let's get um First Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16. Let's get that one real quick. I'm gonna grab me a little drink while you get that. When you get it, you can bring it up.
You said 3 and 15?
Yeah,
Fifteen.
know ye not that ye are the temple of God? That's the one I want to get.
Oh,
First Corinthians
got it.
chapter 3 verse 16.
I got it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
See that's heavy right there. We might have to get that one more time again, but y'all, a lot of us, Israel, man, a lot of you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, y'all don't really know, y'all don't realize y'all really gotta believe in the power that y'all serve, man. Y'all gotta really know who y'all are. Y'all gotta really know that there's a deeper work at force here. That's the enemy job, is to try to knock us off our post, to try to distract us. You see what I'm saying, y'all? A lot of things I'm bringing out here, doesn't it makes any sense to the people out here that's tuning in and listening right now?
Come.
All right, Con? All right. So I just want to make sure we all on the same page, all right, y'all? So one more time, can you get that again up, Baba Kishore?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Right. So you need to know that your body is the temple of the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? Because if you don't know that, you're gonna be going, you're gonna be going the hell off, right? So read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
It dwells where?
In you.
Yo, the Spirit of the Most High, it dwells in you, right? And we're gonna prove that, right? There's more on that. Read on.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
Right. So
For
how
the
would you
temple
be
of God. Go ahead, Ken.
My fault. I was gonna say, if any man destroy the temple of God, right? How will you destroy the temple of God? You destroying the temple of God if you're a man of the Lord and you laying with toxic women, right? You destroying the temple of God if you getting high, if you smoking cigarettes, you destroying the temple of God, man, right? If you a drug addict, you destroying the temple of God, man, right? Your temple is supposed to be holy, separate from the rest of the world. You see, back then, it was a lot about. For example, I'm gonna give you an example, right? Like even in the raps, a lot of the people, they were talking about selling drugs back in the days. Now, what you hear going on the raps, right, is they drug users now. So they went from being drug dealers to drug users now, because now that's all you're hearing in this society. So you can't be trying to destroy your temple, right? Read on.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For
Right.
the
So
temple
if
of
you
God,
it's like it, my fault. So if you out here destroying the temple of the Most High, which is your body, your flesh, right? The Most High is going to destroy you. Read on.
For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are.
You see that? But the temple of which is your body, you know, is holy, man. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be moving different, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's get another one, man. Let's get Romans 12, right? And start from the top.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Right? So let's
Holy.
stop right there. That you got to present your bodies a living sacrifice. How y'all going to do that, right? By joining these classes right here, by going out there to the highways and the byways doing this work, right? By, you know, trying the best of your ability to not go back into this wicked society, right? Read on.
By the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
See, holy, acceptable to the Most High. Holy means set apart, separate.
That's right.
So you can't for a second think that there's equality in this world, man. Right? You don't want to be equal to devils or toxic people or delusional people, right? Let's get verse 2, the next verse.
And be not conformed to this world.
And be not what?
But conformed to this world.
Right. And that's what a lot of our people is doing. They being conformed to this world, right? Because all the wickedness that's going on, they conforming perfectly to this world. But the Bible shows us right here that we cannot conform to this world. But read on.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
This is something heavy, right? The Bible just showed us that we got to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. How do we do that? All the lies we was taught as a child, we have to acknowledge it. We have to expose it, right? We got to bring all that darkness into the light now, man. That's the only way we're going to heal up from this thing, right? Read on.
Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right. That's perfect. The water. I appreciate that. Right. So we're going to continue on back with this lesson right here, right? So now, if we want to think about breaking demonic soul ties, we got to understand the setup. We got to understand the construction. How did this thing come to be in the first place, right? How did we fall into these traps, into these booby traps, right? Because all it is just a familiar spirit. You familiarize with it because of the household you grew up in, right? Because a lot of times our ancestors, our forefathers, they probably was going way off, right? And they didn't realize the curses that was going to be put on our people, right? We got a whole book in Deuteronomy that shows the blessings we will receive if we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and it also will show all these curses that's going to be put on our people, right? They're going to be smiting the mind with madness. We see a lot of our people, they bugged out of their mind, right? They could live a normal life, paying bills, having odd jobs, going to and fro to work, right? But they jacked up in the mind with what? With personality disorders. They dealing with mental illnesses, right? And a lot of us, we don't see it. Because we don't have that spiritual discernment up there. So we look at them like they are a normal person. But a lot of the things that we grew up with, it was not normal. It was far from normal, right? So let's go back to this. So now we talked about the setup, right? We're going to go into the construction of the thing. And now the construction of that thing, and see now you done got set up. You got these holes in your soul now, right? So now what you're gonna do um is with this whole situation, you're going to look for somebody that has a lot of these same things that you're dealing with. Because why? They're familiar spirits. Y'all get that? Huh?
Uh,
All right, con. Right? So we're going to continue on. Why? Because they're familiar spirits, right? So you're going to familiarize yourself with. And then you don't realize, next thing you know, all these years down the line, you got decades, and you look around and you check out your circle, they're nothing but toxic people and demonic people, right? Why? Because those familiar spirits that you're carrying as a child, the holes in your soul, right? They now it shows by the people that you surround yourself with, right? So this is the construction of the soul tie. Now it doesn't necessarily have to just be a romantic situation. This can also be a situation where you're dealing with what? Of family members, right? It could be friends, or it could be frenemies, people that are coming with demonic soul ties. That's not a friend, right? The enemy is going to absolutely bring you people in your life that is going to help those demonic possessions. Half the time, y'all don't even know that it's a demon that's causing all this stuff to happen, right? You don't even know it. Y'all see people dressing so seductive, and they got their breasts all out, right? You know, they got everything hanging all out, right? Y'all see these folks with the breasts out, they behind all out. I mean, everything they can have out, they got it out, right? You see what I'm saying, right? These people don't even know that they operating. They don't even know that it's a demonic spirit behind that, right? So, you're asking, why are you dressed like that? Or why you pick those kind of clothes? Or, um, tell me what's behind this style. Oh, I just like this. They don't even know it's a demonic spirit, right? That they moving in, right? See, that's one of them spirits that's attached, right? Um, is that spirit of seduction. The eyes are seductive. All this comes from rejection of fear of abandonment issues, all of that, right? These are things that come and attach themselves because the enemy knows that he's gonna get caught up in the soul tie, right? The enemy know these things. The enemy knows that he's gonna get you caught up in the soul tie. That's why all this stuff is happening, because he know he's gonna get you caught up in the soul tie. And remember, the whole agenda is to keep you as dysfunctional as possible, because see, the dysfunction is going to stop the normalcy of the family. um the dysfunction is going to stop the normalcy of the family the way the Most High designed it to be: fruitful and multiply, right? That's the order from the Most High, right? Remember, the agenda is to stop the seed of the woman, right? Which is the children of Israel, which is where Yahushua came from, is Israel, right? So that's the enemy's job, to stop the seed of the woman. That's going to crush his head. That's what it says in the scriptures, right? See, he's so stupid he doesn't realize that the seed is still gonna come, forward, y'all, right? Because it's written in the word, right? The Bible said, let the Most High be true, and what? Every man a liar, man. And we're gonna prove this to y'all. Let's get Romans 3 and 4. We're gonna prove this to y'all, right? This is the enemy's job, is to wear out the saints, y'all. Right? So a lot of us done created demonic soul ties. I'm just trying to show y'all how to break demonic soul ties, right? Through the spirit of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, right? Through the scriptures, right? Romans 3 and 4. When you got it, you could bring it out. You there? Wait, where Cap go? He dropped off? Yo, Cap, you there? I think you on mute, King. Yeah, somebody tap the brother on the shoulder or something. Hey Shalakia, Blackbeard, you with Cap right now or y'all got separated?
Gone.
Well,
Gone.
all right. I just need somebody to bring the scripture out. Wait, hold on a second. Huh?
I wouldn't mind it. Romans 3.
Yeah, but hold on a second, because I want to make sure if he's good right now. I see he's in here right now.
Yeah, just he probably on the call or something. Just give it a second.
All right, just give him a second. All right, come on.
Gone.
Right. So I was basically I was going in and I was letting y'all know that that's what the enemy's job is. His job is to try to wear out the saints, to try to distract us as long as he possibly could, right? Because we see what's happening out here. We see all the madness and the craziness going on, right? So Cap, where you at? You there? You back? Or he might be on the call still, right? Yeah. We's Manatasak, Shalom, King. Where you from? This is my first time meeting you.
Come, man. I was with HOI Detroit, man. In 2020, man, to 2021. I had to take some time out to get some things in order, but now, I'm back here, ready to get back in order with the body. So this is why I'm here to participate, man, and
Okay,
do my part. I used to be a reader and back in the body and a year back. So I'm just here now trying to gather the whole thing and continue the spirit. That's all.
Shalom, can you hear me?
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Blackbeard.
Oh, you back?
Khan Shalom. I'm Manatazak. I'm from city of Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. I don't particularly belong to a camp, but I do recognize Banyan Yasha Allah and my people and want to stand as a righteous man in the household of the Lord to promote the children at the gates that will meet the enemy. And
All right, Khan. Salakia, King. I got you. Give me a second. Let me just Blackbeard, you want to grab that scripture for me real quick?
What you want, give it to me again.
Romans 3 and 4.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 4. God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As
right,
it is
you
written.
see? Salakia, yeah. So I was going into, right, and it says in the Bible, right? I was going back and I was touching on the seed of the woman that's going to crush the head of that spiritual demon Satan, right? So the enemy's job is to try to wear out the saints and try to distract us with all these different things he got going on, right? But he's so stupid that he don't realize the seed is still gonna come forward, right? Is written in the word, and the Bible said, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. One more time, read that again. Romans 3 and 4.
God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
That's
the water king. I appreciate that. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna go back to the lesson. When I need another scripture, I'll reach out to you. The water king. All right. So I just wanted to bring that out real quick, right? So when you see the seed of the woman is going to crush his head, then you see how these soul ties become so important. These demonic soul ties, these illegal spiritual connections, they become so important to the kingdom of darkness, right? They are vital tools that the enemy uses to absolutely oppress the Christian, right? To oppress the Christian, the children of Yasharala that's in the spirit, who's doing these law, statutes, and commandments, right? To oppress man, period, right? It's not just us to oppress man. What you call it? When we look at the construction, now he's gonna bring you a friend that's gonna encourage you in your mess. Because see, bad company corrupts good morals, if y'all don't know that, right? So let me get
You can leave.
let me what you say, King?
Khan,
Right?
Salakia. Khan.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
good.
so
I was talking to my daughter. I apologize.
nah, you good. All right, so Blackbeard, let me get just one more scripture and then I'm gonna go back to the lesson. Let me get Proverbs, not Proverbs, Psalms 1:1, just to prove what I'm bringing out right here. Because I had mentioned, I said bad company corrupts good morals, right? And then the enemy's gonna send you a friend that's gonna encourage you in your mess, like to go off, right? Let's get Psalms 1:1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Right? The Water King, I appreciate that. Right? So you see right there in the scriptures, it tells you to remove away from these people, these ungodly people, these sinners in your life, right? Because I was bringing it out and saying that, because bad company, it corrupts good morals, right? So he's going to send you that friend. You think that is your friend, but they do everything. They encourage you in all the nastiness that you want to do. I mean, they're gonna be your ride or die. You heard? Every time you need this friend, they're gonna be right there as long as you're not walking with the Most High, man. Yeah. So they're gonna form. You see that, right? So they're gonna form. They're gonna form this soul tie with you, right? Check it out. Now, how do you know it's from the Most High, right? When it's from How do you know if this friend is from the Most High or when it's from the devil, right? You got to test the fruit. The fruit of it, right? If they over there and they got 29 different kids by 85 different baby mothers, I'm just giving some example, right? Or they got 25 kids and all of these different women, every one of them by a different woman, right? But they still in their mess. They still gonna encourage you to be in your mess. They're gonna roll with you. They're gonna want to roll out with you to the club so y'all could go see this one and that one, right? Y'all gonna get it all going, right? They're gonna be right there. And the thing that y'all bonded on is y'all got the same types of dysfunctionalities going on. They suffering from rejection too, right? These people that's being sent by you to come and kick it with you and chill with you, right? But see, they done got so prideful and rebellious in theirs, they ain't trying to change. But see, you still have a conviction. You still feel like something is just off here. Because you know why? Because you tell yourself, I love the Most High. And my heart is heavy because of this thing. It has taken hold of me, right? And I want to be free. But that friend over there that you got, well, girl, if he ain't acting right, you're just gonna get you another man or maintenance man or whatever you want to call it, right? Or the side piece. You see what I'm saying? That's how some. If it's a female aspect, they're gonna speak like that, right? You just go ahead and go do that because that right there is going to help you, right? That friend right there, he'll just help you out. You ain't got to deal with that. And you got 2 or 3, men on the side you know what I'm saying? What you call it? Because the way I do it, I ain't never gonna be by myself. And these are the type of advices that, you know, when each certain, not all, but when those toxic women gets in another woman's ear, these are the type of conversations they having, now, right? And then it'd be like, you ain't never gonna be by yourself. That's why what you're that's why what you're that's why what you are anyway, because ain't not now one of them is trying to be your husband, right? I'm talking about the construction of these soul ties. You link up with these people that have the same demonic oppressions that you're dealing with, and the familiar spirits come in contact with each other. Y'all are y'all are identifying with each other. Come on, family, right? There's a whole setup going on, right? You got a demonic soul tie with a friend that's in their mess and they ain't coming out, right? This friend got mess going on too, right? This is you know, that toxic person, he got mess going on, right? So now you're dealing with what? You're dealing with him, you're dealing with her. Some of y'all got that friend that don't stay in a relationship long, right? Who all had, we know we all got that one friend. They can't
Bring it
you see,
out,
yeah. Somebody got
huh?
their hand up. Hold on a second. Who's this? All right, hold on, King. Hold on, I'll get back to you. Let me let this lesson. So we all know that one person, like, damn, this one got a new one already? Shit, couple months down the line, you see they ain't even last long. So, anyways, I'm just trying to let y'all know, right? We all got that one friend that don't stay in a relationship too long. Always got 15, 20 different partners, right? So then you sitting up there with this friend. This is your ride or die, right? Y'all been friends for 30 something years. Y'all don't even know that the enemy set it up. Ain't that crazy? Right? Then they bring a couple of more in to reinforce, right? To reinforce the bad information that you're getting in the air and what you're rolling with, right? So then this toxic person comes in and they love bombing you and they this and they that and they telling you all of this and they telling you all of this and all of that because you see this toxic person done experience trauma too. Y'all see how these familiar spirits are coming around y'all. You see the construction, y'all see how this thing is congregating together, right? The enemy set you up. These familiar spirits got attached to you in the setup when you were a child. Now, as you became an adult in the construction of the soul ties, right? And the construction of these demonic soul ties and the legal spiritual connections, y'all see how this thing comes together and it fits like a glove, right? You got your best friend that's been your ride or die, that was sent from the devil, from the pits of hell, that will encourage you in everything bad. I mean, they're just whatever you want to do, they with it, right? Do y'all even know? Do y'all even know that that's the witch's model? The kingdom of darkness. Do what thou wilt. So you do. So do you. Right? Do you and do you into you're gonna go ahead in the world and do you until you do you starts doing you. Right? Y'all caught that? Or I'm gonna need to say that again, right? You're gonna go out there with this friend, this toxic friend, and they're gonna encourage you, like, oh, forget about this one, forget about that one. Whether you're going through a relationship problem, let's just say, for example, right? They're gonna tell you, encourage you, just go and do you, right? You're gonna go out there and do you until you doing you starts to do you, right? So even the slogan, like Nike, just do it, right? Like Nike, just do it. Just go ahead, do your thing, right? You see how that is so related to the witches and the warlocks. That's their anthem, y'all, right? Do as thou wilt, right? When you do when you do you until the do starts doing you, that's when you're gonna get into all these soul ties these illegal spiritual connections, these demonic soul ties. Then you looking around like, how did I get here? Right? What happened? Because you got that demonic friend that just anything you want to do, and you think they so cool, right? Because they messed up, just like you. But they dealing with what? With rebellion. They're dealing with stubbornness. They ain't trying to find the most high, right? They don't even care. But they gonna be right there next to you, like they're gonna be right there next to you, like, girl, you know I got you. Or if it's a brother, like, yo, they're gonna be right there next to you, like, yo, bro, you know I got you, right? Um, you know, when you need something, bro, you know I got you. I'm gonna be there. You know, damn demon, man, a damn demon the whole time.
That's a demon,
right? You think you just share your deepest, darkest secrets with this person. They don't even know half the time they being used by the demon, right? By the kingdom of darkness. That's just who they are, right? Because they grew up in so much dysfunction. So now you got this soul tie with this person. Now that person has encouraged you to now get linked up with the demon, with this Slaki, my fault. I was saying this person has encouraged you to now get linked up with the demon from hell that's now causing you to sin against your own body, man. Right? There's some heavy stuff I'm trying to bring for y'all, right? So what you think, why you think, for example, if you're out there looking for a partner and this partner is a damn demon, is a toxic person, why you think they want to get you in bed so quick, right? That demon needs to be worshipped. With what? With that sin offering. They need that sex offering. So when you're going and laying down, quick, fast, in a hurry, right? What you call it? That's a sin offering where that's being performed through sex, right? That demon want to get you in bed because they know how many portals you got open. They could see these things, right? They already know that you were dysfunctional, right? That things happen to you, right? Don't fool yourself, right? You're dealing with demons that are age old, centuries old, yeah, right? They have been here way before we even hit the scene. These demons, they old, they ancient. The same tactics, manipulation, right, y'all? Right? So they have been here long before you ever came into existence, right? Our mind is the devil's battlefield that we fight daily, y'all, right? This is where he plays in his battlefields in our minds. He's always trying to fool us and trick us, right? And try to knock us off our spiritual post, y'all. Right? He knows what openings you have in your soul. You don't even know that you're operating in all of this, right? That toxic person just came and love bombed the mess out of you, right? Just got in touch with that inner child that was so rejected because of all these different things like molestation or incest, because of occult worship, right? Because of all the dysfunction or all the dysfunctional things that happened to you as a child. This is the construction, right? Now you into fornication as you got older. You're constructing that soul tie through fornication. You constructing that soul tie through idol worship, right? You see, because you are literally worshiping this toxic person, this demon, right? Or for some know him as a narc or a narcissist person, right? Because you don't love yourself. That's why all this stuff is happening. You really don't love yourself. You're constructing that soul tie through demonic connections and associations with people that you think are your friends. They are the devil. They are operating in probably all the demons that running that whole legion of demons, y'all. Right? All the demons up out of basically, like, the kingdom of darkness, yeah. So they're operating in just about all of them. But that's my but you tell yourself that's my homie though. Or for the ladies, oh, but that's my homegirl though, right? You better not you better not check it out. You better not have somebody on your team that close to you that when you need something from the most high, they can't even get a prayer through, y'all. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? If you got
Kind of.
somebody, right? If you got somebody in your life that's moving like that, moving that way, and you need something from them, they can't even uh, have a prayer for you, right? If they can't get a prayer through, then what are they doing with you in the first place, y'all? Right? That's the real battle. That's the real fight. You hanging with folks that can't even pray for you. This is madness, right? But this is the stuff that's going on in the world, right? Pertaining to our people, right? Y'all hanging with folks that can't even get a prayer for you, right? When y'all going through financial issues, all sorts of trouble, this person you rocking with that's trying to hook you up with all these different people, they can't even sit there and pray for you. Why? Because they're not in the spirit, right? So how? We're speaking about the construction of these soul ties. You got demonic connections with folks that you think love you, family members that ain't never meant you no good, John. They've always been off into all of these sexual, immoral, illicit things. Now you got now you got a toxic person come into your life. Now you operating in what? In fornication, in adultery, and some of you experienced molestation as a child. All of these different things that you experienced as a child, all of these different things come to attack your soul. The enemy can't do nothing with your spirit. Your spirit is the one that belongs to the Most High. But what he can do is he can attack this flesh. That's going to affect your soul, right? So you got to realize that he attacks your flesh, and it affects your soul, right? These are all the ways that this soul tie is constructed. So I'm just letting y'all know, I'm bringing out the examples, right? I'm laying out the groundwork of how these soul ties, demonic soul ties, get constructed in the first place, right? You let these people where all of these different spirits into your proximity of intimacy because they are not tested. We brought you that scripture in Sirach 6 and 7, right? They not tested. You're not proving these people. You just going and you just laying with whoever, sleeping with whoever, right? So you don't see. You look at the fruit, right? Because you're so you don't see. You look at the fruit because you're so dysfunctional. It looks a lot like what you experience in life, right? Y'all see these familiar spirits. Get away from people that can't get a prayer through, right? I'm in the season,
God.
right? I'm in the season, I'm in a forever season for the rest of my life of like-mindedness. This is the main information I'm trying to bring. This is where the level y'all gotta be on. For the rest of y'all lives, y'all gotta make sure this person that you hanging with, rolling with, you gotta make sure they like-minded to you. How you gonna do that? You gotta see if they in the truth. You gotta know if they from the nation of Israel, from a part of the 12 tribes. Don't be trying to associate yourself with all these other people, y'all. They got a lot of our people, they just want to be cool with everybody, right? They want to join with the enemies, right? But you want to be with those, you want to surround yourself with those who are like-minded, who are also in the spirit, not people who's ungodly, with not people that's sinners, not people that's going way off, right? If you're not like-minded, if you're not going where I'm trying to go, I can't run with you. That's how you got to look at this thing, right? I can't run with you if you're not like-minded to me. I can't run with you if you're not going where I'm trying to go. If you're not trying to keep this new moon, if you're not trying to do these feast days, then I can't rock with you like that, right? There's no treasure in this flesh, right? Let's get a scripture real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
I just had a precept on that topic, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. Bring out your precept, and then let me see. Did Cap? Did you come back? Because if not, I want to get a scripture too.
I
Or
got a
if
script.
not, Blackbeard could get it. But any one of y'all, whoever's available, go ahead. Bring your precept out, and then I'll go ahead and get my scripture.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Verse 12, for whosoever have to him shall be given, and he shall give more abundance, but whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
That, you know what? That was so mighty that you was so on time with that precept, man. I want you to go ahead and read that again, and then we're gonna have to break that down, man. Start again from the top real quick.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Right?
He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to
right.
know the mystery.
This knowledge, this biblical knowledge, this wisdom, understanding, right, is given to the children of Israel. It's not given to them, right? It's given to the men of the Lord, right? It's given to the daughters of Zion, right? But read.
Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to know it is not given. But to them is not given.
Yeah, but to them it's not given. Those people who stuck in darkness, or the heathens, the other nations, not given to them, right? There was more on that.
Verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
Man, that's heavy, man.
I mean, that's heavy.
So right yeah, that's definitely heavy. I appreciate that. The water for the precept. Now I want to get where we at? I want to get Romans in chapter 7. Let me see if Cap is not there, Blackbeard, you could bring that out.
7
Romans 7 and verse 18. Let's bring that out. Because before you get that, right? The last thing I was touching on, I said that you want to be with people who is like-minded. If they not, moving like the way you moving, if they not trying to do the feast days, not trying to go to no new moons, none of those sorts of things, that you shouldn't be trying to run with people like that, right? Because it says that there's no treasure in this flesh. So Romans 7 and 18. Let's get that.
Book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 18.
Bring it up.
For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me. But how to...
Slack, my fault. It said, I just wanted to touch and said that it said, in this flesh dwelleth no good thing, right? But read on.
For to will is present with me. But how to perform that which is good, I find not.
Right? The water king. Right? So it says, for I know that in me, that it is, right? That is in my flesh dwelleth no good thing. Right? So for to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. Right? So let's go back to this lesson. Right? So I was saying, if you shouldn't be running with people that that's not moving. You should want to surround yourself with like-minded people, right? That's the main topic of this lesson tonight, right? So now we look at the construction of this thing, right? Now, what is the motive behind it? What is the motive, of the soul tie, right? What is the operation of this soul tie now that the enemy has set you in this space and got you connected to all these demons and devils, right? So, what is all of that for, right? What's the operation of the soul tie? To keep you stagnated, right? To keep you destitute, right? To keep you in a space of dysfunctionality, to keep you in a place where you keep going round and around and around, just like the Bible said, about how these silly women, Slakia, how these silly women, they creep into the houses of of um of these you know of these silly women, how they creep into the houses, right? So women that are what they ever learning, which mean that they don't ever learn. They keep going through the same thing, right? Um, let's get that real quick. Where we at on Second Timothy's? Let's prove it real quick. Second Timothy's chapter 3, and where is that? Second Timothy's chapter 3 and verse 6. Let's bring that one out.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lust.
Slakia, right? So laden with divers lust. That means divers means a lot, many, with many different type of lusts, right? Read on, get the next verse.
Verse 7. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Look, they always learning all sorts of different wickedness, all sorts of books, all sorts of YouTube channels, all sorts of social media platforms. But guess what? They still continue doing the same mistakes over and over and over again, right? So yeah, the Water King, I'm gonna yield on that, right? So I'm gonna get back to this. I just wanted to show you that in the scriptures how you see, this could pertain to men too, not just to Eve, not just for the women, right? But I would just wanted to show you in the Bible that there's people, it says silly women laden with sins and divers lusts. That's a lot of lusts, right? So let me continue on. They keep going through the same thing. The operation is to keep you from your purpose and your destiny. Do you know how many people have gotten caught up with these demonic soul ties that have spent years and years and years? I'm talking about decades upon decades and decades with these people, y'all, right? Going around and around and around. That's all that basically happens. It's the same patterns, the same damn cycles, the same dysfunctionality, right? All of that is nothing but a complete distraction to keep you from reaching your purpose and your destiny, because your purpose and your plan works with the plan of the Most High, right? To get you on,
please.
to get you on, to get you on your post, right? So you can man your post, because the seed of the woman is coming, y'all, right? If he can keep you off your post, then you can't warn other people, right? You cannot lead anybody out of their darkness, because you are too bound with darkness yourself, caught up in this soul tie, right? That's gonna go on and on with this toxic person, whether she is a narcissist or whatever the case may be, right? Just keep coming back and coming back, right? And when you get rid of them, because you haven't dealt with the setup, right? You haven't dealt with the demons that came into play in the setup. And you won't cut this demonic friend off, right? You keep hanging out with the person, right? That you can't cut this demonic friend off that can't even get a prayer through for y'all. This is crazy, y'all. Right? You won't cut this family member off that keeps stealing your peace. You get over here, you get over here and you find yourself with 10, 15, 20, 30 years in a situation that is what? That is unfruitful, right? Just as dysfunction as the day is just as dysfunction as the day is long, all because the enemy knows who you are. Yo, the enemy knows who you are, right? But you don't know who you are. This is crazy because of all that distraction. You don't know who you are in the spirit. The children of Israel, y'all powerful. Y'all have power. But guess what? That's the enemy's plan to keep you distracted, to keep you off your course, right? That's a terrible thing to not know who you are, right? He know who you are. That's why he sent all of these familiar spirits and everything around to attach themselves to you, right? This toxic person you're dealing with is meant to do just what he or she is doing and to keep giving your body as a sacrifice in these demonic situations. If you're married to him, you're going through so much hell in your house. You're operating in the permissive will of the Most High with a whole devil. And they doing everything they can to destroy you, right? This is what it's meant to do because if the enemy can destroy you, then it's going to lessen the chances of other people being able to make it out. Because those of you that are listening to this message today, those of you that follow this class, right? Y'all some riders. Y'all the real riders, right? Y'all some leaders in this thing. You desire the deeper information. You want to know how to get free from this thing. But if you don't understand what you're dealing with, how you going to destroy something, right? If you don't know what you're dealing with, how you going to destroy something that you don't know what is constructed of, right? That's the motive that is going to kill you, to destroy your purpose and to destroy your destiny, because people are assigned to your inventory. And if he can destroy your purpose and your destiny, then guess how many other people die in that process, or that are going to have to be rerouted in that process, because you are not on your post, right? You're letting the enemy win by distracting you, right? You're not going to make it if you don't see past the person in front of you. You're not going to make it if you don't see past the blackout. You're not gonna you're not gonna make it if you don't, if you don't look past the blackout, if you don't see past the no contact, if you don't see past the number change, if you don't see past the fornication, if you don't see past I got children with this fool, but I'm not connected to this devil anymore, right? If you don't see past I married a demon, but I don't have to suffer in this thing. If you don't see past the Most High has called us to peace, if you don't see past all of that, you ain't gonna make it. You got to understand that nothing is spiritual can be destroyed with carnal weapons. This is why the Bible says weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through what? Through the Most High, to the pulling down of strongholds, y'all. Right? Let's get that. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. Right? Let's get it. Let's get it. Is everybody enjoying the lesson so far, Con?
Man. Bring it out,
I got
I'm glad everybody's enjoying it, right? 2 Corinthians 10 and verse 4. Let's get it.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Hold on, Salakia. That was 2 Corinthians chapter 20 and verse 12, right?
No,
Four.
2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4.
Oh, 4, Salakia.
Yeah, we got 4 and 5, right?
Okay, Salakia, I apologize.
Nah, you good. Don't worry about it, right? So this is what the Bible teaches us, that the weapons of our warfare, they're not carnal, right? So you can't destroy a spiritual thing using carnal weapons. The Bible, it teaches you that, right? So the weapons of our warfare, they're not carnal, right? We got this word, we got the scriptures. This is our spiritual weapon. We got to use this spiritual weapon to go up against demonic forces, because guess what, y'all? All they do is study you, right? I'm talking about the demons, the enemies, right? Your adversary, right? They know you very well. They know you better than you know yourself. They know your family history. They know your bloodline. They know your ancestral history, right? So they're gonna use whatever weaknesses and whatever likes, whatever things you're into. They're gonna use your emotions against you, y'all. So when you're dealing with logic, there's no emotions attached to that thing, man. You can't have logic and emotions dwelling in the same under your mind. Is either you're a logical person or you're overly emotional person, right? So in verse 5 it says, casting down imagine. Oh wait, I ain't finished. I'm gonna back up to verse 4. It says the weapons of our warfare, they're not carnal, right? But mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, right? Demonic soul ties is a stronghold, right? Strongholds are basically lies, right? Strongholds could be things like paganism. A lot of our friends and family members, they still stuck on them strongholds of what? Of paganism, or on of what? Strongholds, it definitely would pertain to things like, the holiday season of the folly. Strongholds is things like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Strongholds on our family members that they don't want to let go of, and all of these things are lies. Those are all the strongholds, right? But what the next verse says, it says, casting down imagination, right? And every high thing that exalted itself against the when something exalts itself, that means they very prideful, they proud and they puffed up, right? It exalts itself because the Most High is supposed to exalt you. You're not supposed to be exalting yourself, right? If you humble, the Most High will exhort you, right? But if you prideful, he gonna bring you down, right? And so that's what we got going on. Back to the lesson, right? So this is why the enemy want to keep you thinking blackout. He want to keep you thinking change your number, right? He want to keep you thinking I'm not going to talk to them anymore, right? Yes, do all of that, but do the work too, right? You could do all of that. You could change your number from dealing with a toxic partner, cut her off or cut him off, change your number, right? Don't talk. Yes, do all of that thing, right? But you also have to do the work too. And what's doing the work? Doing the work on yourself, right? Of how you got involved with this mess in the first place, doing the work of the Most High, right? Get all these familiar spirits out of your house, out of your life, right? If the enemy can keep you caught up in this, check it out. He don't mind you blacking out on the toxic person, right? Uh he don't mind you going no contact on the toxic person. But if you don't deal with that spiritual piece of it, all he gonna do is send you another one, right? That's dressed up just a little different. Oh, but you're gonna get another one, right? Because you still got them familiar spirits in there in your temple, right? That's gonna identify with this new one, right? That he brings along, and this new one is just gonna have a little bit different. It's just gonna have a little bit different. They're gonna move a little different because the enemy is going to give them some information to show them how to move a little different in your situation, right? So what you call it? I'm gonna give you an example real quick, right? Um, right, for example, right? If you're dealing with a situation and you have you got somebody you're involved with, you have a lover or whatever, and you think that you're gonna just move out the state, you're gonna switch coasts on you're gonna move from one coast to another coast, and you think you're gonna get away from this person, guess what? They're gonna have like 10 more of the same person you're trying to get away from lined up for you when you get over there. When you leave the East Coast and you get to the Midwest, when you leave the East Coast and you make it to the West Coast, they're gonna have at least 10 more lined up from that person you're running away from. Why? Because you don't have your spiritual discernment up there, right? So all he gonna do is send you another one dressed up a little different, moving a little bit different. Why? Because the enemy is gonna give them that edge. They're gonna give them information, right? To show them how to move a little bit different in your situation. That's it. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. And the next thing you know, 6, 7 months down the road, you caught up with the same thing. Your body is your enemy, right? Your body is your enemy. This temple is your enemy. It houses your spirit, it houses your soul, but in this flesh, it dwelleth no good thing, yeah. Right? This is why you have to fortify your mind, right? You have to do what Romans 12 told you. You have to do that renewing of your mind, yeah, right? Which translate to your soul. The man that you feed is the man that will lead you, yeah, right? If you feed your spirit man, then your spirit man will override those foolish things that the soul wants to do, because the enemy can attack your soul, right? What does it take to destroy demonic soul ties? You got to come against fornication. You got to come against that bad company that corrupts good morals, right? You got to break up those familiar spirits, yeah. You got to come against them even in your own body, right? You got to come against that spirit of adultery. You got to come against that spirit of rejection. You got to come against all these seductions. You got to come against incest that plague your family. You have to stop doing you, y'all. Right? Oh man, so yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up with that. So I hope everybody learn how to break these demonic soul ties. If y'all dealing with a situation, whether it's relationship wise, and you can't realize why you find yourself in and out of these situations, the enemy knows what you familiarize yourself to. You got to go all the way back to that childhood, y'all. When you first got scared as a little child. I just want y'all to know something, y'all. That spirit of fear, it could be a huge portal to bring in all these other unclean and demonic spirits. Remember, there's a whole legion you're dealing with. They got to run in the pack. They got to run with an army. Because if we catch one demon slipping off guard by himself, they have no power. Power is in unity. You see that? So, they got, look at what's happening in the world. The wickedness is taking over, right? And we know that negativity spreads faster, right? So not too much positive stuff is going on. That's why you see when they say 1/3 of our people, that's damn near a fraction. That's a small percentage, right? Look at a lot of right? It is when it comes to the men, you may see a lot of men doing the work, but it seems like it's even way less in the females and Eve. It seems like it's less of the women, right? Not that many of our women is really woke like that. Look at what's going on with the modern woman right now in this time, right? First of all, you have a lot of single women. They don't really appreciate uh submissive wives. A lot of them, they speak against that. And that's the reason why they're single in the first place, man. Yeah, because I want y'all to know something, that to be humble is to be powerful, right? And to be prideful, that's a weakness. So you're actually dealing with power versus weakness. What is power? Power is to be humble. That's how you could see if if a person is powerful, if that person's a humble person, right? But when you see they're very prideful, that's a weak person right there. They have to be prideful because they gotta. That's their defense mechanism. That's their coping mechanism. They start ego tripping. They start boasting and bragging. You start seeing them with all these jewelry shining, right? I never really been a person of shines. I don't really like to shine. Where I come from, that never really drew positive attention. That mostly drew negative attention. You see somebody shining, a lot of times I lost a lot of friends, man. They got killed because of that. And it's not even because of the shines. It's because it could have been fake jewelry. It just the principle that a lot of times that doesn't attract, because what you're doing is you're showing, if you're coming from like where I'm from New York City, right? Um, a lot of people, they oppressed over here, right? Or we're dealing with a lot of poverty, a lot of poor people. So when you shining and somebody else is not, then now they eyeing you, right? So a lot of times you don't really, my light shines within me. I don't need no jewelry, no shines. I don't need no platinum, no ice. I don't need a whole bust down on my wrist. I don't need none of that. I just let my light shine of the way that I move, the type of love that I show to my spiritual body, right? I got two families. I got um my blood relatives and I got my spiritual family, right? And that's how it is. That's the balance right there, y'all. Right? So yeah, man. I love y'all family. I hope y'all yeah, somebody said Salakia?
Yeah, it's Blackbeard.
Go ahead, Black.
Before you close out, I just want to let me back for a second if I can.
If I can,
Yeah, go ahead, King. You got the floor. Yeah, right now this is I just entered the hour where we're gonna do questions. If y'all want to ask something, touch on something before we actually close out. Go ahead, Blackbeard, you got it.
One of the things we got to remember, man, when it comes to dealing with spirits, like you were saying earlier, you know, before we even put foot down here on this place, we all dwelled in the third heaven with the Most High. And I'm talking from the left-hand side, spiritual demons, as well as the right-hand side. That's where the whole concept of the familiar spirits come in at. Right? The spirits all dwell together. They know each other. The thing is that when we came down here and we started moving in sin, we lost spiritual powers. And one of those spiritual powers is the spirit of remembering. That's why we can't remember who we were and the events that transpired in our lives from one regeneration to the next. But these demonic spirits that move from the left-hand side, they never lost that ability, just like all of the angelic beings that still dwell in the third heaven. They never lost that ability. Just like all the prophets before us who've gone back to the third heaven, they've regained that, right? They've done their work. We're down here now pretty much on death row. We fighting our case right now on death row so that we can prove ourselves worthy to get into the kingdom, to come off this death row and get into the kingdom. But while we're here, those demonic spirits, they're walking around making our job hard. They know who you are in the spirit. Paul, Peter, John, Matthew, Zephaniah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Those men are probably right here on this earth right now. None of us know who we are. and the works that we got to do. But them demonic spirits, they know. So they're going to come after certain of us way more stronger than they're going to come after others. They're not going to send a level 1 demon after you when they know that you possess the spirit that can put 100,000 of their ass to flight.
That's right.
Your trials and tribulations are going to be way more greater than the next person. You may look at somebody else and what they struggling with and be like, damn, why am I going through it seems like I'm suffering more than this person, man. Hey, with great power comes great responsibility. And also, heavy is the head of the man who wear the crown, man. Remember, we were predestined for the kingdom. Those demons looking at us and they saying, there go one of them niggas that's going to the kingdom, man. There go one of them damn elect right there, man. You don't know you that, but they know it. So they're going to pounce on your ass. And they're going to do everything that they can, like the scripture says, if they can, fooling the very elect into thinking that you're nobody and you're not worthy and I can't take this weight. Hey, man, there's no temptation that has taken over you, you know what I'm saying, then that is which is common to man. The Lord is not going to put nothing on you, on any of us, that we can't handle. It's always one or two things that's going on when it comes to the Most High, man. Because of unjust balance, man, the Lord not dealing with that. So if he's sending you through something, you either being tested, testing your fortitude to be that mighty man that you say you are in this truth, or either you freaking off some kind of way, man, as the brother Naquan would say, and the Lord is sending them demons to punish your ass. That's so right. That you can get back on point. Now, we know that Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together except they be agreed? When it comes to testing these, we got 3 different types of spirits moving around us, man. We got the spirits that are the sons of the Most High. We got the spirits that are the sons of man. And we got the spirits that are the sons of Satan. Right? Those sons of man and the sons of Satan, and man, them wicked 2/3 and them damn heathen. They all on the same page together. So when that scripture asks you, can two walk together except they be agreed? If you moving in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you already know what the spirit should look like, what that spirit should talk like, what that spirit should talk like. Right? The only way that you allowing yourself to be unequally yoked to a wicked ass spirit is that you got a carnal mindset, right? Romans 8:7 says, and it says, because the carnal mind is enmity with the Lord, right? If you thinking carnal, right, that's a vile affection, man, and the Lord will give you up to that. And like the brother Zebulon saying, man, that's how that spirit is able to attach to you. And now you're equally yoked to a wicked ass sinful spirit, right? It then came into your life. Y'all done built up memories, all right? And, oh, we've been best friends for 25 years, but you in the truth now. Hey, that friendship was over when you came into this truth because y'all no longer aspire for the same thing no more. At least you ain't supposed to, because two can't walk together unless they agree. Now, are you agreeing with the wicked or are you agreeing with what the Most High say do? Because if you ain't no damn lukewarm, and if you caught up in the middle, then, hey, man, the Lord is going to allow that spirit to overtake you. Romans 8:16 says that the spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Right? So them demonic ass spirits, soon as they come and call, oh, damn, there go one of Yahweh's sons right there, man. And they either gonna say, let's get him or get the hell away from him. Right? We see it at camp all the time. Brothers is out there bringing it out mighty. You got some spirits that'll walk right through the camp. Brothers on both sides like a corridor. But then you got some that'll be walking inadvertently when they realize what's going on. They're stopping their tracks. And then they'll turn and go all the way around us. You can't allow yourself to think with the carnal mind when you serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because he's spirit. And those that serve him have to serve him in spirit. Paul talks about us having that war of the flesh and the spirit, right? And us not being able to get out of that war. That's your war every single day, man. The flesh is weak and willing, and the spirit is weak and willing. Both of them is willing to follow whichever one is the strongest. Like Zebulon said, you got to feed the spiritual man. Hey, man, his ass is drawn up. He famished, right? Damn weak, emaciated. Man, he just skin and bones. Since you've been born, you came out the womb speaking Hebrew. You know what your mother and them and your grandmothers and them wicked ass did to you with the demons that was on them? And man, they took the Elijah Warren Kodash out of your mouth. They removed the words of the Lord, his language, out of your mouth, taught you this filthy, demonic English language, okay? And then proceeded to raise us up in the ways of this wicked world. At that very moment, that spirit that was alive in you, that spirit that was Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, got a damn sock stuffed in his mouth, duct tape wrapped around that thing, hog tied his hands and legs behind his back, and threw his ass in the basement of your temple, man. And for the next 25 years of your life, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, all you've been feeding is the wicked ass fleshly man that you are. So now the Most High throw you a mercy. You come up out of that, he send some righteous brothers your way, or because man's going is of the Lord, you come into wherever brothers is bringing it out at, right? And your spirit comes back to life. Was the spirit that's quickeness. You hear this word and your spirit gets some hope in them. It come back to life, man. Brothers kind of damn do a kick though on your temple, go in, jack the flesh up, go in the basement, pull the damn duct tape and the sock off your mouth, man. Pull your spirit up out of that more damn half dead, right? Ezekiel 37, Valley of the Dry Bones, man. They start hitting you with this living water, start rehydrating you, bringing you back to life again. Now you moving in the spirit of the Lord. And the worst thing you can do when you start moving in the spirit of the Lord, man, is go back to hanging with your carnal ass people, man. They are the reason your life been in shambles all your damn life. If you've experienced any of the blessings of the Most High God since being in this truth, you already know that there's no comparison from what it once was and what it is now.
That's right, Art.
Nailed it, brother.
So when Art telling you that these spirits been following our asses around since the day, man, before we were born, I'm kind of inclined to believe that when Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai was up there in the third heaven numbering us and was saying, yeah, you gonna go down there at this time. And man, them wicked ass spirits were standing right over there too, man. They seen what number you were. They knew at what part of this earth the Lord sent you at. And you got to remember that one spirit is a multi-spirit. And man, one day you looking at porn. And man, next day you damn trying to do porn. Right? The spirit, them wicked spirits, they multiply. Hey, I ain't never been to one city where there's only a damn pedophile spirit in damn Kansas. Okay? That spirit is in every city. So the spirit of homosexuality, the spirit of murders, the spirit of damn rapists, the spirit of pork eaters, right? The spirit of Sabbath breakers, feast day non-keepers, man, that spirit is all over the earth. That's one spirit, but it's a multifaceted spirit. And that spirit works on multiple levels. That's why you got to gather yourself with your brothers, man, like-minded, because like he said, it's power in the numbers that we have. Right? We don't move like that from a carnal perspective, but the righteous prayers, the fervent prayers of a righteous man availeth much. So much to the soul. How much more do it avail of when you got 2 or 3 casting that same prayer up? This is why we got Day of Atonement. You know how powerful them prayers are on that day when everybody is afflicting their soul in the whole nation and the whole nation is praying for the same thing? This is why we looking at Esau's kingdom crumbling right damn now, man. We all are damn co-defendants. The more we wake up to this truth, the more we get better and better at keeping these feast days and these high holy days and gathering, you know what I'm saying, amongst ourselves, the more this kingdom crumbles. Those spirits, they in flight right now, man. They running. And when you running and you know that your damn life is dwindling, hey, man, you kind of get in that super defensive mode. I'm going to die anyway, so I'm going out swinging, man. And I'm going to take as many of their asses out with me as they can. If this was ever a time, Israel, for brothers to be steadfast in prayer, sisters to be consistently steadfast in prayer, fasting, gathering with each other, man. That's why when it's tabernacles, that's why when it's Passover, you know, new moons, feast days where we gather together, it's bittersweet when it come to an end. Because for that little bit of time, man, we damn near get a glimpse of what it's like to be in the kingdom. And then when it's time for everybody to go home, everybody damn countenance change because you going right back to them damn demons that's sitting at your crib because you the only person in your house that's in the truth. Everybody else around your ass wicked as hell. Them demons is at home pasting the floor. Can't wait till you walk back in the door. And the thing is, your spirit know it. So you got to gird yourselves up, man, in these last days. Eat these scriptures up. I mean, man, anything worth doing for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is worth overdoing. All right. And Proverbs 3:5, lean not to your own understanding, man. But seek the Lord in everything that you do, man. You got to lead with him first. No. And with that, I yield.
Hallelujah.
Come on, King. Damn, that was yo, you really dropped it on us, man. You was holding all that you was holding back on us, King. Yeah, you saved the most important parts for the end piece of it, man. Yeah, you brought it out mighty, man. You touched a lot of parts, man. It's true, man. Even as a child, you go off into watching pornography, then you get a little older and find this toxic woman that you could perform all that thing you done learn. Yeah, the enemy, he plays with your mind like that. And then you think you all happy, and then next thing you know, a couple of months down the line, this ain't the person. Yeah, why? Because y'all not like-minded to each other. You know, that's that lust getting the better half for you, right? But a lot of times, man, you gotta be, when you dealing with somebody, like the bed should be the last thing on your mind, man. Y'all gotta sit somewhere down, right? Sit down somewhere. What I was trying to say, you gotta sit down somewhere and build your spiritual discernment up. Get in these scriptures, learn how to. Not only that, you learn through the wisdom and the experience as well, but you gotta learn how to read your enemy. Your enemy knows you better than you know yourself, man. All they do is study you all day long, 24/7. So how you gonna go to war with the enemy and you don't even know what type of tactics to use? You don't even know. You already done, man. If you go ahead and you hanging out with a demon, you already lost, man, in the spirit, man. You can't even let them come that close to you, y'all. Right? So this is all facts. This is all heavy stuff that, you know, brothers is trying to come together, bring y'all little mighty lessons or whatever, right? Learn from these things, man. Because you know, the brothers in our specific camp up here in HOI, all we try to do is stick to our elders, because our elders is coming with that experience, that wisdom, right? They ain't just do no 2 or 3 years and then they want to start up their own. It don't work like that. These are seasoned men that we trying to, you know, our spirit resonates with their spirit, right? Our elder he always told me this when I first came into this thing. He said, you go where your spirit leads you. Like Blackbeard said, man's goings is of the Lord. So if you see brothers is sitting up here today, right? We all here for a reason, man. We all in our different cities, different states, dealing with the same exact situations. It's like these people all went to school together and learned from the same damn teacher. Who you think their teacher is? If it's not of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, it's definitely coming from the spiritual demon Satan, man. Right? So that's what we're dealing with. Go ahead, King.
I just want one quick thing too. And if you ever in doubt as to whether or not a spirit is dealing with you, if you find yourself falling short, because a just man falls 7 times, right? None of us is perfect. We're gonna stumble at times, but we get up. And the way you know that a spirit been dealing with you, you feel guilty afterwards. See, that spirit, like Ak was saying, it's all about a spiritual sacrifice. And that spirit, like you take the story with with Tamir and what's David's son who raped his sister?
Polyboma.
I can't think of his. I can't never remember his name. But remember in that story, it wasn't even him that wanted to do that to his sister. He had his homie that was with him who geeked him up and told him, "Man, fake like you sick, and request your sister to come in and take care of you." The damn freak spirit was on his friend, and it enticed him and geeked him up to fake like he was sick, request his sister to come in, and then when she came in to take care of the nigga, he raped her. And immediately after he raped her, the love, that's overwhelming love that he had for his sister, turned into a hatred because the spirit that was on him, that freak spirit that was on him, soon as it got its sacrifice of the rape, it jumped back off of him. His purpose was served. And that's what you got to keep mind of, man. Whenever you fall short or you fall off in your walk somewhere, you feel guilty afterwards. That means that a spirit was on you, and that spirit got its freak off, man. And once it was done, it abandoned you. And now you got to be the one to face Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and apologize and repent and fast for that thing, because you the one going to get judged, not that spirit. That spirit is of the left-hand side. It's doing its job.
So, Akia, if I could, because you brothers are hitting a lot of points, and I like to reuse some of Shemaiah Israel's terminology so we can see what these legal ties, what these soul ties, and what these bounds are that the current enemy is using in the physical world, right? See, Shemaiah, thank you, man. You said soul ties, right? And you said bound, 6 sexual rituals, and you compared that to a legal matter, right? So when we look at a legal matter, let's look at commerce. The word commerce, if you look in the Webster dictionary, it could be translated to a sexual intercourse, because we know as Israel, sexual intercourse is a transactional thing to bring a gains to the kingdom, to bring forth children, to bring forth profit, right? So let's take that word commerce and use it also how they use it legally against us. And let's think about transportation, right? So when we transporting in a car, right? Commerce is happening. There is a intercourse going on because we have entered a course of traveling. So one of the things that the wicked demon would do is identify who is in commerce, who is in this car, right? And what they do is if you and your partner's in the car, they start asking who's all in here. And the cops probably know someone and say, they associated. Let's get them. Let's get them. And throw you in jail, bound you, throw you into, what was the term you used? You used the term strongholds, right? Jails. This is what the accuser does, right? Speaking of accusers, we can look at the story of Job and see how his company, right? A business thing, his company tried to hinder his standing up for the Lord and him girding himself and him also lamenting and fasting when caught with trials, right? So we see that Job, in the book of Job, Satan made a request to accuse him. And Job 1, verse 10, let's see what Asatan did. He said, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance and increase is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. Now, repeat that, right? Curse thee to thy face. Let's see who told Job to curse the Lord and die. Job's wife.
His wife.
Chapter 1, verse 9. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die. Right? So Asatan used the person he was having intercourse with to tempt him to curse God. But we got to see what Job did before she said that, after his first affliction. After Job's first affliction, Job fasted. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed.
That's deep, because we got to remember that when you take a wife, man, y'all are become one flesh. That's why the Lord said to take a woman after your own mindset. She displayed that she didn't have the same admiration for the Most High that Job had. She showed also that in the times of adversity that she wasn't going to call on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But at the same time, that's like she's supposed to be, in essence, him, because they're husband and wife. They're one flesh in the eyes of the Lord. So it's damn near like her speaking that way can hinder him. That's why he had to rebuke her ass and told her, "Thou foolish woman."
And so Pete, right? When Job fasted, Job was the only one who fasted. And Job is the one who Asatan took his riches from. We seen he had 7 sons. We seen he had 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels, right? And they all partake in, remember, verses 1 through 5 are talking about a feast that he made for his children and his friends. When it was time to eat and consume, they were there to partake in that. But when he decided to go before the Lord, when he lost, he was by himself. That is the reason why Job got double portions in the end. In the end of it. And who died? His wife died. His friends then accused him. You surely doing something, because the Lord wouldn't be doing this, right? They didn't encourage him.
And another thing too, that just shows you that when we think about enduring to the end, we always assimilate that to the kingdom. Hey, enduring to the end is enduring the trials and tribulations by fire of adversity that the Lord put you through as well. Because them trials come and they break the hell out of Israel, man.
You about to see that now? Now I'm gonna go to Isaiah 33, right? Because
I think those friends of his was also heathens too. Job's.
They
right?
were.
Now look, right? Now Pete,
one was a damn Edomite.
Now, but Pete, what happened, right? So let's see, because remember what you said earlier, right? When you said pray, you said, how do you combat the flesh? We seen that Job lamented and fasted, right? And listen to what Yahweh blessed Job with at the end of the chapter, at the end of the book, right? And Job 42, when Job's faithful, matter of fact, let's go to Job 42 and verse 6. Because remember, he also talked about not exalting himself. Job exalted the Lord and covered his mouth whenever the Lord spoke, right? And in 42 verse 6, he said, wherefore I abhor myself and repent in the dust and ashes, all truth. And it was so that after the Lord had spoken these words unto Job, the Lord Yahweh said to Eliphaz the Temanite, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy 2 friends, for ye have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job had. Remember in 2 Timothy how it speaks about guarding yourself and standing fast and being good soldiers of the Lord. And when Yahweh spoke to Job, what did he tell Job? Gird thyself. When is another time Yahweh has told Yashar Allah to gird themselves? Passover. And these are people that you in company with in your house, partaking in your feast. Your land that you provide for those who are under your carriage. Let's see what Yahweh said, kept saying to Job, right? He said, therefore take unto you now 7 bullocks and 7 rams, and go to my servant Job and offer up yourselves a burnt offering for what? Their trespass. And my servant Job shall pray for you. For him will I accept. Remember how
Yeah.
earlier Shemaiah was
Prayers
talking?
of a righteous man.
Shemaiah said, you going through these hardships and your friends won't even pray for you. Yahweh won't hear them.
Shalaki King, I think you're referring to somebody else.
You talking
Shemaiah.
about me? Because I think what's confusing him is that
Your
he sees
picture
your
of
name, but
Zebulon is on Shemaya's screen.
his
my
picture,
picture
my
on
name,
your
okay.
name. Yeah, so it's not Shemaiah speaking. This is brother Joshua Zebulon. I was the one doing the lesson tonight. So yeah, it wasn't Shemaiah, it was me bringing all that stuff out. But
Yeah,
go ahead,
your picture on Shemaiah. Your picture is on Shemaya's page.
Khan, that's what the confusion is. But it's all good, Khan.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, but
it's all good, King.
The Lord heard Job's prayer, right? Because Job stood boldly, the same as Yahweh heard Yahweh She's prayers, right? And I just want to go further on that because I'm gonna go to Isaiah 33, right? Let me get there real quick. Because the brother was talking about standing amongst the fires of adversity, right?
Right.
Let's gonna stand in the fires of adversity. Who's gonna be able to dwell with the everlasting fires? Wow.
Those that endure. Israelites.
But I want to get specific. The script said, right? The script in Isaiah 33, verse 7. I'm gonna start at 7. Behold, their valiant ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. The highways lie waste. The wayfaring man ceaseth. He hath broken the covenant. He hath despised the cities. He regardeth no man. The earth mourneth and languishes. Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Listen to Yahweh. Now will I rise, saith the Lord Yahweh. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Ye shall conceive calves. Ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as fire shall devour you. And the people shall be as the burning of limes. And thorns cut up shall they be burned in the fire. Hear ye that are far off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledge my might. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearfulness hath surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with the everlasting burning? Here's the answer. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly. He that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from the holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from the hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from the seeing of evil. We have to gird ourselves, stand boldly before the Lord, and we have to be soldiers in the work of the Lord. So, and we must not exalt ourselves. Yahweh exalted Job. He said, Satan, what do you think of my good and faithful servant Job? And he said, hey, look, man, you take away everything he do, I guarantee I get him. What do you think the authorities try to do to you when they accuse you of crimes and legal matters? There is witchcraft in the courtroom. They summon you to the courtroom as a dead person. For surely if you shall defile the Sabbath, you shall surely die. They use our book against us and keep us in a dead state. The officers, the judges, and the judges that deliver you to the officer, Asatan, and every evil spirit. They put you on death row. You're a dead man walking. You have
King. Yeah, Khan, King.
I'm going in, man. Hey, that's the spirit. But no, because on that last point that you was making, that's why the Most High tells us to be vigilant.
Yes, because authority. That's why when we come in the name of Yahweh Shai, we're coming in the deed of Yahweh Shai, who was worthy to open the deed to the world and create it for
proxy. That's proxy. That's you basically weighing in from his perspective, as if he was there himself.
We're an attribute of him. You feel me? That's why Yahweh shows us, because what they try to do in the evil world is create corporation and companies, right? That's why when you're
So
in a
what
car,
is that that's verse 15. Isaiah 33 and 15. See, that's talking about that gift that destroys the heart, right?
yes,
Ecclesiastes
sir.
7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, but a gift destroys the heart. Israel ain't mad.
Yeah, and
That's why we did that lesson. We did a lesson before called "Are You Mad Enough, Man, to go to war?" Because they'll kill us, they'll falsely accuse us, they'll incarcerate us. They make, you know what I'm saying? They tax the hell out of us. They turn our women against us. They target our children with all of this homosexuality, right? And when we stand up at that oppression and we make a loud voice and become a fist, here they come with the gift to
and
destroy the mindset.
they say you're dysfunctional, right? They try to make you an offer or a plea, right? To put you into agreement with them, right? And then this is where we mess up in the courtroom, because earlier it was also spoken of where he said, you want to be equal. He said equal, and you got to keep your emotions intact, right? There's this thing called the canon laws of positive law, right? And that's what, they make their laws out of. When you go into it, it speaks of equality. The definition of it is being calm of mind and being fair, right?
We know that's a damn lie.
Yeah, look, but because the kingdom of Israel operates under equity, we don't operate under equality. Although we do promote shalom, which is peace, right? But what they do is make us die in processes. Now, this is another thing that was said. Remember, he kept saying who you roll with, who you roll with. We talked about commerce. We talked about who's in your car with you.
Hold on, Salakia. Back up a minute, because I want to make a point to that.
Right?
Like, in this world, that's what makes his economy go around. One person being able to obtain more than others.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a part of the destruction of this kingdom, allowing one group of people to ascend to a certain level, others to not be able to, right? This is your higher class and your lower class and your middle class.
Your uppercase and your lowercase. That's why everything maneuvering is called capital, and they put you in cap lock.
Hence the straw man, right?
And a straw man, what a straw man is a voodoo doll that a living object puts its will on an unliving object to affect another living object.
Is that not what's happening with our people, though?
Witchcraft. Straight up.
That's part of why Israel is in the curses in the first place. The Lord told us to come out of this place. He told us to partake in none of their ways. That's the very thing that's one of the very things that got us in the captivity that we in right now.
And this is the game that the enemy's playing with you. When Yahweh said, or Al Shaddai at the time, when he said, let there be light, and there was light, and he saw the light, that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. This is what we consider judging matters. Whether you look at the word matters as matters around the world, or whether you're looking at it as matters as creating physical matter. He then said it was good, and he then put a title on it, called the day light and called the darkness night. And then he timestamped it and said in the evening, in the morning was the first day. This book that we have is our legal authority to go through the world as predecessors, righteous judges, and officers of the kingdom of Yahweh, to bring equity to the world, which he first showed and made a trustee in Abba Adam, when he told Adam and built trust in the naming of his creations, which was the animals, to show that Adam was competent. And when Adam proved he was competent by being able to show difference in a goat and a sheep, a snake, a dragon, the fish, and the fowl, he was able to discern the matters of Yahweh. Now he could transact in the Garden of Eden. Now he could partake in the fruits, being a worker of the kingdom. And when he breached contract and ate from the fruit, which he wasn't supposed to, he was kicked out of it with his organization or company being his wife Eve, and they had to transact out of the Garden of Eden. We got to get our authority and walk around with our stamps that Yahweh gave to us. First being a sign that we with Yahweh, which is Sabbath. Then the feast days, keeping the Tefillin, doing the commandments.
First we gotta get brothers and sisters to just first repent and acknowledge Yahweh as the melanated man that he is, and believe on him as the scriptures say, because that's the stronghold that's got our people that's held back. When we talk about Christ, they still picturing Caesar Borgia. That damn Stockholm syndrome, okay, got our people gone. First, we got to break through that stronghold, that when they hear the name of the Lord, they identify him as the scriptures say. Because we still got people that's diligently doing their inquisition to search out the mysteries of the scriptures, only to try to prove the scriptures to be lies.
Strange babblings.
I mean, Salaki, but if any man spoil you with that false philosophy, man, it's really up to you to discern and go and do your own research.
And
now you see how that statement that the brother just made, that takes you full circle to the lesson that Zebulon was brought out. Discerning them spirits, brother.
Khan, you feel me?
That brings it right back full circle to the discerning of these spirits that's coming amongst you. Because if you keeping these feast days and these high holy days, and you recognizing and believing on Christ as the scriptures have said, anybody, when you try their spirit, you first of all, you can't try a spirit if you don't know the process of trying a spirit. Somebody got to teach you the method of trying a spirit. What do you use to try the spirit? What questions do you ask?
The plumb line that was established in Israel, that's spoken in 7 Amos, verse 7 and 8. See, Israel has a plumb line being Torah that helps us judge matters. But we establish judges and officers in the gates of our cities, because does not wisdom cry out at the gates?
And so the first principle of the oracles of the Lord is that one should be taught again. So somebody got to teach you the Torah. Somebody got to teach you the whole canon. Somebody got to teach you Genesis to Revelation and give you the mysteries of these twofold, threefold similitudes and dark sayings and parables that is the scriptures that can only come by way of the spiritual gift that you get from the Lord of discerning the spirit by keeping the laws thereof. So when brothers and sisters is first coming in, their spirit is not girded. They on the milk. They don't know how to discern the scriptures to apply to their life. This is why they need to gather with their brothers, so that as a unit, and gather with their sisters, so as a unit, we can form a hedge of protection around their fragile spirit and build them up in this word to keep them damn demonic spirits off of them. The same reason why a sister has to have a head in her life, to be able to put that same hedge of protection around her. All right. Now, once that happens, now we can start to teach them how to apply these scriptures to discern spirits according to, and how to try spirit. You can't try the spirit through social media. All right. Let's just put that out there. You'll never be able to try the spirit through the damn social media, through the telephone. You have to physically put your damn boots on and come out your camp.
That's right.
And gather with your brothers. And engage your brothers on individual levels, one-on-one, so that you can take a measurement of their spirit. Then you can collectively gather an understanding or some type of discernment of the spirit that is that camp, because the camp spirit is a collective of all the members. So that's first and foremost. You can't, so you'll never be able to stop these spirits from getting all over you, man, when you don't know the proper procedure to identify a wicked spirit.
The proper ritual. Because remember, these spirits, right? They're familiar, right? Who you familiar with. We know this instance with Samuel and Saul, right? And Samuel like, nigga, you summoned me?
Yeah, he went to the witch, man.
The witch, right? Because
Now,
we
and
know
then look, even the witch, even she was scared.
exactly.
So what that tell you? Her wicked, the wicked spirit that was in her understood the spirit of who Saul was.
Mm-hmm.
And it scared the hell out of her. She got, of who Samuel was. And it scared the hell out of her to even proceed with.
Oh, he called the prophets? I'm sorry, he was tripping. But that's Saul didn't know how to discern, right? And Saul proved that when he tried to bring abominable things into the temple of the Lord. Remember, he's familiar. And that's why they want to give you co-defendants. They want to make you career criminals. They want to make you utterly dead. And then they want you to pay for a bond because the payment is a purchase of a title. So they make you buy into their system. Or
I'm fighting the case right now with the state. All right. I'm fighting right now to get back my right to bear arms. Okay. Now under their law, you have to have 20 years to the day of release or 20 years to the day of release from parole. I got 30. So I exceed y'all legal limit of statutation by 10 years.
All
right.
So
Second, you cannot have.
You got to prove that you're competent. You got to prove that you're competent. This is
I go before the judge, go before the director, bring character witnesses and all that. Right?
Yeah, you don't even got to do that. You off of the right to be equitable. You say I'm coming in here with divine law and natural law, that I have the right to protect myself and purchase firearms to protect me and my household that's filled with people that is protection.
That's one way, but see, I'm caught up in Esau's system because I'm a class X felon.
Felons, I was considered dead. I don't even.
So I was considered still slave property once you get incarcerated. Yep. So under that law, I think it's the 13th Amendment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but you hear what it is, right? It's an amend. They're trying to make something whole. But the thing is, you're trying to make yourself whole for your own profit. The same way, if you're married, right, and you get locked up, your wife is allowed to go to the court system once you marry. But what they try to do is give you conjugal visits. But the wife can say, I need him out because he's my protection. You guys are leaving me naked. You guys are leaving me without my protection and my protector over me. As long as
that's that's in the lines of what my argument is with the case. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 plus years I've been on these streets and I haven't been in no trouble with them people. And then my track record from then to now with all the community work, everything that I do, I'm in a position now that if you just took Esau's perspective, I'm someone that needs to be protected in these streets. And I have a right to bear arms. Now I'm the very example of what you claim your judicial system is set up to do: rehabilitate.
Exactly.
So if by your own standards of what rehabilitation is, I am that, and you still saying that I'm not qualified to bear arms to protect my own self, then what's the purpose of your judicial system?
Exactly. Because
I got aldermen, I got Cook County Jail, I got juvenile detention center directors, all these different people of high statures that's a part of your organization speaking highly and vouching of my work in the community.
Well, we got to show up as Israel to your court case and prove that, you're doing the work of the Lord. See, Moses was considered, because what you got to say in a courtroom is, I've come of mature age, right? I'm at mature age. And Moses, so he was of mature age when he stopped taking into account his own profit and started thinking about the profit of his nation and his people.
He caught the murder.
Egypt 40 years. But then after 40 years, he started thinking about his people. He killed someone and then fled and came back and redeemed his people. But that's why Yahweh Shai had to die, because Yahweh Shai had to show that you could be redeemed after death and reborn. And that's what the court systems try to do and kill you. That's why the Caesar at that time put a seal on his coffin, because Yahweh Shai had to show that the word of God is not bound, but the word of man is bound and can be broken. Yahweh
but it's not conducive. It's not conducive to his methods for me to be able to be put in a position like that. First of all, they don't want us to raise up no leaders of our people. So that alone,
it's not in their best interest, but it's in our best interest. And we could prove if we're doing stuff for our, definitely if you're doing community service and it's for your nation, you could say, I have come to a mature age where I want to take care of my people. This also comes with protection, right? That's why Pharaoh would not let Moses go. And it's the same thing. Israel, current day Babylon don't want to lose their cattle. And that's why Yahweh came and Yahweh Shai said, I'm the Aleph, the Taf. I'm the Alpha Omega. I am the cattle and the sign / the mark / the owner of all the cattle.
Shalaki, King. Shalaki.
Deep. So you're allowed to read.
Shalaki. Manatazak. What camp are you with, King?
You said what camp am I with?
Yeah.
He said he's not with a camp.
I'm not with a camp, but I do study under Elder Peraza and Elder Zaquan Nathaniala, who was part of Marsha Yashar Allah and the camps of New York City. They've been doing it for about 30 years. I listen to the wisdom of all Israel. I look at us all as being and having areas of expertise when it comes to the word of Yahweh, and that we shall come together as a righteous nation and start dividing the matters of truth together.
All praises. I don't want to stray away too much from the teacher. And you guys are having a nice build. You and Nadeem, all praises. And I don't want to also keep going into having a long class. So I want to hand it over back to the teacher so he can close it out and pray us out.
The water, Shemaiah, I appreciate that. Yeah, y'all guys was having a good build, but it's true. We gotta wrap things up at a timely manner, and we gotta be have a consideration for some of the other brothers and sisters that gotta go to plantation for the next day and everything. So if that's basically everything we got going on, as far as Q&A part, we're gonna just jump right into the prayer, and we're about to close out. So Manatazak, we appreciate the participation. But we're gonna yield on that. If any other brothers or sisters got anything to say, now's your chance to bring it out. Because if not, we're about to close out. All praises. All right, Khan. So it looks like everybody's ready to close out and pray out. I'm gonna give y'all guys about a good straight minute to get yourselves together, and when I get back, we're gonna pray out. Khan? Khan. All right, I'll give y'all some time. Con. All right, everybody. So y'all could prostrate, face the east. All right. Get yourselves ready, get yourselves together, and we're gonna close out in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. Right? This is the Lord's Prayer in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. And it goes Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Daba'a, Ratazarka, Haya, Aisha, Baratazar, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakum, Ko, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafyanawa, Wala'a, Tabayaynawa, Banasayawam, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwaf, Waha'ala, Wahataparaf, Laiwalamyam, Man. Khan.
Mighty lesson, King.
Khan, I appreciate y'all family for tuning in and participating and joining in with me on this little lesson, about destroying demonic soul ties and everything. So we're going to continue to do this work. You're going to see Most High willing, the camps all going to be out there over the weekend. And, we'll be back at y'all for another Iron Sharpen Iron class on Tuesday, Most High willing. Y'all, all y'all family throughout the four corners, y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. If y'all got any other brothers on the lives, y'all could tune into the lives. Elder will be back in the West Coast, bringing it out with HOI LA. Brothers is going to be in New York doing our thing, HOI NY, and everywhere else the brothers are at, HOI Midwest and Chicago. Tune in to all the lives. We're going to be out there doing this work and edifying the people. All right. So y'all have a safe and blessed night, family. Much love. All praise to Yahweh and Yahushua. And I just want to say in the Paleo Hebrew tongue, Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.
Shalom, family.
Kwam